How do you build an email list that will buy what you have to sell them? Because it's one thing to build an email list. It's quite another thing to build an email list that will actually buy what you have to sell them. When you want to do that, the single most important thing in this process, especially at first when you're just getting started and you can't really afford to have a great big email list because you have to pay for everybody you put on your email list. And so you want to make sure that, especially right at first, that payment works well, is to create consistency between what you give away as your opt-in incentive, that thing that they get when they give you their email list, and what you sell. Now, I realize this sounds obvious, but in looking at a lot of other people's offers, it's not as obvious as I thought it would be. So let's just use an example. Let's say, for example, that you sell dog agility training, those things where you see the dogs going through the different things and up things and down things and all that kind of stuff. That's a specific portion of dog ownership. Not everyone who has a dog is interested in that. And so what you want to make sure is that your opt-in incentive, that thing you give away, is about some aspect of agility training. Not more generic things like maybe keeping your dog healthy or training your dog not to bark or, hey, the best sweaters to put dogs in for the holidays, whatever it is. Those are all will attract dog owners to your list. But unfortunately, you want dog owners who want agility training on your list, not just generic dog owners. And so your opt-in incentive needs to be consistent with what it is that you're going to sell. The more specifically consistent, the better it is. So, but there is a small note that I want to make here. Make sure that in that thing you give away, you don't solve all their problems, because if you do, you got to leave something to sell. They're not going to want to buy anything if you solve all their problems in the free thing that you give away. And so one of the things I've learned over time is that consistency wins between what you offer in terms of your opt-in incentive and what you sell. So what that does is it gives you the right audience. With the right offer, that connection makes it so that you sell things, and you support all this with amazing content that directly helps those who are interested, in this case, in dog agility training. You're not doing health of your dog and the best sweaters to give them for Christmas. Now, I realize that what I just said may go against what some people think. They think, I want a big list, because there is a chance, the bigger my list, the higher the chance that I've got people who are on that who might be interested in dog agility training. And I don't disagree with this. Notice what I said right at first. Especially right at first, when you can't afford a lot of money, you focus really tightly on getting the right group of people on your list. This, by the way, helps on deliverability also. Then later on, after you can afford, because you've made some sales and you got a lot of money coming in, then you can go out and look at attracting a wider audience, dog owners with some of those other kinds of offers, hoping that some of them will be interested in agility training, or maybe they weren't interested enough to opt in for agility training right at first, but you could talk them into it through a series of emails and the other content that you get. That's a good strategy. Just don't do it at first. The more tightly you connect your opt-in incentive to what it is you sell, the more you will sell, especially right at first. The better your deliverability will be. The more people think you are the expert in that particular subject. All those things combine to make it so that the tighter you make it, the better off you'll be in the long term. Questions, comments, let me know in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.